Now, we have this very interesting story. It's a petition presented by Dr. Lukoya Atwoli, who feels that suicidal attempts should be decriminalized. What do I mean by something to be decriminalized? Inamaanisha tu eti the suicidal attempt is something haifai ionekane kama a criminal offense. This is something, according to him, he feels it's very right. Of course, he's a professor and he's somebody who has extensive knowledge, yeah, being somebody who is psychiatric. He's a psychiatrist. So, hii kitu imereceived by very mixed reactions. Most Kenyans wanna feel by coming up with this can only encourage suicidal attempt. Wanna feel it encourage more suicidal attempt, while other people wanna feel ini kitu itasaidia those victims wenye wamekuwa victims of suicidal thoughts. Itawafanya wa feel like part of the society, because most of these victims, after failing to attempt suicide, wao wana feel ni kama they are not part of the society, and so they feel ni kama wako marginalized in a way. So some people do think that hii ni kitu mzuri sana and it will make them feel like part of the community. Share your thoughts about what you think about that. Now on to another interesting story. It is about Tengachi High School. Tengachi High School. Now, sijui, it's like I just feel ni kama we are going back to those days zenye our students walikuwa wanachoma shule, like almost, it was now a norm. It was no longer news almost every single day. Kuna time that was happening and it was no longer news. So we are still processing the Litein Boys High School rampage, and now this has just happened. Tengachi High School. And something very similar to this is that these two schools are in Kericho. What is happening in Kericho, jamani, tuambie. Now, this is a generation have realized that the best way they know how to communicate, they cannot be patient with you, one. Another thing about this generation, they are very poor na kwanza kucomplain, kulament chini chini, no. This is a generation that will easily act if they feel ni kama wako dissatisfied with what you impose unto them. So, ini generation enye they are so quick to act, na action yao enye wanajua kabisa ni kuchoma shule. So lucky for this school, at least community members will intervene haraka, and the distractions being made haikuwa very immense kama Litein Boys. So kwa community members for coming to intervene, tunawashukuru sana, and this should be a lesson, of course, to principals. Learn to converse na our watoto, because hawatambui mambo ya no. The only way they know how to act, once ujawasikiza, they will easily resort to rampage. Please let us give them a listening ear, wasikie. Now to our last story, it is about the officer, Kabiru police, the Kabiru police officer. Of course, police officer ni mtu tumesikia. Now you do remember 6 months ago, unimse alikuwa declared ati he was a missing person. He was a missing person back in Haiti. And hiyo ilikuwa government, it was a statement from the government. And saizi, when the president was giving us a list of the police officers who lost their lives, this Kabiru police officer was among the fellas who lost their lives. So you can imagine the shock enye the mother alikuwa nayo, realizing that the son, whom they were hoping is just somewhere not traced, will come back very alive, ni mse wanaambiwa kwamba amekufa. So of course hii imekuwa pigo kubwa sana kwa the mother, who is still in shock. Na according to her, he wants a very clear explanation mbona ilishtuliwa kwamba the son died, and all this time this mother was hoping that the son turn out very alive and kicking. It is a very sad story. So this begs the question. Pengine, do you think that the state knew about the demise of this police officer? Now all this time walikuwa tu wanajaribu cover up, ama pia the government is equally shocked about what has just happened? Tuambie, be very open with the comment section. Tell us what you think. Tuongeleshe, engage. It's a very free conversation. Now always stay tuned at Amaika Live for like the latest happening. Kila mahali kwe, anything to deal with sports, our economy, the education sector, yote tunawambia. I've been your host, Faith Shikanga, and always stay tuned.